Hi, so I'm Sean Foster. Hi, so I'm Sean Foster and I'm about to do the TA. I've got a few days to go, so I'm making sure I get my final preparation. If you're watching this, you probably know what the TA is. Strange enough, I still struggle to pronounce it, Tour Aotearoa. I'll have to really focus on that. For those that don't know about the Tour Aotearoa, I would say it's the best bike ride in the country ever. And I know this because this is the first time I'm ever doing a bike ride in the country, which is beautiful New Zealand. And it's 3,000 kilometers. Doing it during the brevet, which there are some loose rules around it, I have to do it in no shorter than 10 days and no longer than 30 days. Well, I belong to the later stage, the 30-day category. I'm doing it on an e-bike, and when I try to look around on YouTube for videos and the like to get some experience and preparation for that, I find it really lacking. Of the few videos that I did find on YouTube, most of them were not really doing it unassisted. So sometimes they had friends or family following them in a camper van and they could charge in the night time, or they were staying in hotels the whole time, etc, etc. Well, I'm doing a bit of a what I would call unsupported. So where I can stay in a motel, I will stay in a motel, but for sure there are some places where I'm going to have to camp, and as much as I've tried to research, it certainly looks like there's going to be a few days or a few nights where I can't charge. So I've had to make some plans around that. But first of all, on the bike, I bought this bicycle new about 20 months ago, so a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I see I've clocked up 4,500 kilometers. So that gives me some confidence. The tour is 3,000 Ks, I've done 4.5, but over 1 3/4 years. I'm just an average person. I'm generally fit and healthy, 58 years old, but I'm certainly no athlete. I'm not a cyclist. I'm only doing the TA because I thought that's a lovely challenge to do. So I'm not an experienced cyclist. And in terms of my training, I went and joined up with the local cycling club a couple of times, did some rides with them, and I really bombed out. Muscles completely collapsed. And the one time, I think it was 120 Ks, about 100 Ks into it, we had rain, and all my reserves had completely gone in my body, and I just froze to death afterwards. So on those first rides I did with them was on a gravel bike, it wasn't an e-bike. So I decided then I'm going to do this on an e-bike, hence the reason why I bought an e-bike. This is a cinch bike, a New Zealand made bike, and I've been very happy with it. I would highly recommend it. So it's got front suspension, nothing in the back, and the good team down at New Zealand Bike Trails down in Wanaka, James and David, they were kind enough to lend me a bigger battery. So I've put a bigger battery on the bike. It's a 650 watt, and I've still got my old battery, which is a 500 watt. On my 500 odd watt battery, if I was riding on an eco, I could do sort of 120 kilometers, and that's switching the battery on and off. So if I'm on the flat, generally it's off, and I'm really just using the battery for going uphill, but it is also unladen. I weighed the bike before putting any gear on, and the standard weight of the bike is about 27 kilograms, which compare that to a normal gravel bike that would typically be doing the TA. 27 kilograms is about the weight of the bicycle plus all of their gear, whereas I'm only starting at 27 kilograms, and then I need to put the gear on. The exercise for me today is to figure out exactly what I'm going to take, and I'll show you what I'm going to take, and I'm going to put it on, and then I have to weigh the bike. I've just had the bike serviced as well, and it's only the second service. I did a service at 1,000 kilometers and there's nothing wrong with it. The second service now at 4,500 kilometers. I'm not sure how well this actually shows up, but they changed the chain. They changed some of the gears as well, the cogs as well, because they had worn. Interesting, when I bought the bike, I did do one up-specking of it, and I put another 2 cogs on the back of the gear of the wheel, which allowed me, if I do run out of battery, I've just got some bigger gears, easier to cycle. And as a result of that, they actually have to change the chain as well, so the chain is slightly narrower. Recently as well, I changed the handlebars. So the standard handlebars that come with the cinch bike, typical, is just like a pretty much flat thing. So really good if you're just doing general mountain biking and little jumps or something like that. But I found that when I was cycling, within anywhere between 15 minutes and 30 minutes, I was starting to get numb in my arms. And when I went to the bike shop, they recommended I change the handlebars, which I did, and it's a godsend. So I would highly recommend anybody changes the handlebars. And I forget the name of these handlebars, but they've got it's lovely, nice and curved, so it's got more of a natural stance to it. I also put the aero bars on, which again, when you're doing long distances, it's just nice to be able to change your position. So even though it's leaning forward, which isn't so good for my back, it is actually very relaxing. So I've probably done probably 500 kilometers odd testing this setup here, and it is significantly more comfortable. So anybody doing a long trip, I would definitely consider doing it. Other things I've got on the bike, obviously just a normal light. I've got a Wahoo navigation. Quite a long time ago I also bought a camera, so it's a camera and a light, so I've got that in there. It's got the normal computer on there. And then I really struggled to find the correct placement of this, but a little bag here, and my idea is just whatever food I'm going to be taking, put food in there. A little bit difficult to get into, just because of the geometry here, but it is what it is. And then I've got this little mini pouch over here, which technically my phone can go in there as well. But the idea is, I'll put power pack here, and maybe the credit card and anything I'm needing to take out if I'm going to shops and that type of stuff in there. I have also ordered a camel bag, so I've got some water in my back, because at the moment you can see I've only got one water bottle over here. I do have 3 water bottles, but I've only got one water bottle holder, so I would think getting away with just 2 water bottles would be fine for me, except for the odd situation where I'm going overnight, so I may need more. So I'm banking on having 1 water bottle here, and then also a 2-liter camel pack tops bag at the back. When I last had it serviced, they also gave me, not quite gave me, I had to buy it, a little kit here with little spanners and that type of stuff to service it. And then I've got 2 panniers, courtesy of Timu. I also changed the seat. You can see they've got this, I don't know, what do they call this, like cushion type seat. It's a lot more comfortable. And a little bag in the back here, where I've got puncture repair kits and a few other accessories. Otherwise it's pretty much standard. Oh, the other nice thing about getting an e-bike, which is pretty standard, there's always a bike stand on it, and I see some of these gravel bikes don't have bike stands, not normal. So it's just a lot easier just using the bike stand. So it adds a little bit more weight, but I can probably live with it. I forgot to mention as well, I also ordered this, a radar light, which again is highly recommended. So whenever a vehicle is coming up, not only are these lights flashing as so you can see me, but it does then give me a warning on my Wahoo that a vehicle is coming, or 1 or 2 or 3 vehicles. Some of the learnings I've found is that I bought this Wahoo, which was pretty cheap compared to I think it's a Navman or whatever, other alternative makers. As a result of which I had to buy this Machine one. That's the only one that's compatible with us, and I don't think it's as good a quality as the others. So I'd certainly get some false alarms, and they disappear. But false alarms on good general motorbikes and that type of stuff come up, it doesn't seem to pick it up as well. At the moment I've got this one here, the spare one, so this is actually a camera to film, which is useful at times, but if this light runs out, at least I've got another light to actually flash at the back. And you can see I've had to modify something here because there's just no ways I could find to attach everything here and keep enough space over here as well. That's the bag for my puncture repair kit and that type of stuff. That's a little toolbox with extra things in. So there's actually a chain breaker in here, and some chain links. So if I do have to repair the chain, I am able to do it en route. Got a pump, my water bottle. This is the larger size battery, so it's slightly bigger than the 500 watt, another 150 watts in there, which is quite good. Yeah, and then the whole configuration of the steering wheel, and I think that is about it. Yeah, let me go figure out what clothing I'm going to take now. So I can ask you for your opinion, but by the time you look at this, it's probably too late. So this is what I'm going to take. It's a MacPack waterproof anorak. I think it was 10,000 millimeters or something like that, so hopefully reasonably waterproof. I've got some swimming shorts, just so I've got a different pair of shorts. The cycling shorts, they are typical cycling shorts, a bit of a cushion for a skinny ass like I've got to use as well. So essentially I've got two shorts. And then I've got, because I struggle with the cold, I bought some long gloves. They waterproof as well. They seem very light, so I've got that. And then I've got my standard ones that I use all the time, which are just no fingers on them, Fox ones, which are very light. So it's two sets of gloves. I've got these arm warmers, which again are super small and easy to put on, which I think I'll end up using. I got this a while ago. It's almost like a scarf or something like that. Again, just for warm, so you can put it around your neck or your head or something like that. Again, a lot of the stuff that I'm taking, you sort of don't need it every single day, but the day you do need it is the day that you do need it. So again, it's quite small, and I thought if I take this as well, if I didn't even use it, I can use it as a rag, I can use it as whatever I want to use it as. I've got one pair of short socks. I'll probably get another pair, so I've got two pairs. Open to those ideas. And I didn't know such things existed. Waterproof socks. So these are going to be way too hot to cycle in normal, but probably quite good for the South Island, especially if it gets wet and rainy and it's cold. So keep my little feet warm. The reason why that's important as well, I'll show you my shoes. So I'm not using cleats or anything on the bike. I found that it's very restrictive. They're just flat pedals with little grips on them. And these shoes, like cross trainer shoes, Gore-Tex shoes, I bought them about I don't know, 5 years ago or so. I use them all the time. They're just about dead, and I thought, you know, maybe this is the last time I'm going to use them on a long trip. Even got torn in there, but they're certainly not waterproof. So just good old things that can go in the mud, not exactly, you know, everything's still working in them. So that's what the shoes are. Then I've got two pairs of undies, wear one at a time. I have got a thermal cotton, so that's a long sleeve thermal top to keep myself warm, and one pair of thermal leggings. At the moment I've got two shirts. Is that extravagant? I don't know. So wear one shirt at any one time and I've got one spare, so maybe it's extravagant, maybe I only need one. On top of that, I'm going to have my Harvard's cycling shirt, and my good little neighbour Carmen, she helped me out, because even though this fits me quite well, it's a snug fit, and just to minimise any going numb here, I was concerned that I was being slightly restricted there, so she actually cut open some slits and sealed them. So thank you, Carmen. The other thing Carmen did as well, which is fantastic, she sewed on these little black things on the side here. So normally it's just a strap and a strap, but this covers my ears to try and minimize the chance of getting more skin cancer, because the sun's going to be baking my ears. This is a reserve battery, which is a 500 watt one. Again, that's like 3 kilograms at least of weight. And again, you don't need 2 batteries, but I'm just concerned there are going to be times, looks like especially in the South Island, maybe once in the North Island, where there's some really hilly terrain on tracks where there's going to be nowhere to charge overnight. So 1 battery will do for me for a day, but what about the next day? So yeah, hence the reason why I'm taking 2 batteries. Maybe overkill, I don't know, and that's why when I tried to look for it, I couldn't find the answer. Got a sleeping bag, and this one is 1.13 kilograms, and it is Torpedo 7 Alto 500 V2. So limit is -4, comfort 2 degrees Celsius. So comfortable 2 degrees, limit -4 degrees Celsius. So for this time of the year, should be good. My tent, again, I'm having doubts whether I bought the right one. I bought a bivvy that looks completely impractical. So it's like sleeping in a tight coffin. Anyway, that's a bivvy. I also bought a mat to go on the ground, but it's just too wide to carry. It's big. I don't like it. So when I pass through Auckland, because in Whangarei that's where I'm living, there seems to be a lack of everything. So there is a blow-up sleeping mat that I can buy. I forget the weight of it. It's quite light, but at least you can compress it and it's quite small. So I'll pick that up on my way through. I've got my toiletry bag. Again, do I need a whole bag? I don't know. But can't give away all luxury, so I can shave. It'll last for maybe a month, who knows. If it's not, I just don't shave for the last few days. The basic stuff like toothbrush, a bar of soap, no shampoo. So Dove is going to be hopefully I can wash my hair with it. So ibuprofen just in case, some cream, Koru Nutrition Reflex FX, fast acting, reduces inflammation, natural ingredients. So I don't know, if I needed to work my muscles, I can do that. Some dental floss, and that's it. And then I've got a really nice puffer jacket, but it's quite a thick one. This is Monica's old puffer jacket, which is a very thin one, so probably be limited in terms of how much warmth it can give me, but it's really as small and compact. I've got 1 pair of waterproof longs, so again, if I'm cycling in the wet and it's cold, certainly in North Island, if it's raining, you just keep on, this time of the year, just keep on cycling, but more worried about the South Island. I've got just a couple left of these electrolyte fast chews, which I think are necessary, and I went and bought some more equivalents. So these are electrolyte capsules. I've got water, I can just pop these as well, help with electrolytes. My muscles do tire up. Going to take some magnesium as well, again, because I know sometimes I get cramps in my legs. Obviously, this time of the year is February, so we just had Christmas. The good family give you lots of bikey type presents. So I've got these pure fluid gels, 8 gel sample pack, and mixed flavors, nothing naughty protein bars. So they're gonna go. And again, then I've got a whole bunch of different cables. Need that. Is this luxury as well? I've got 2 power banks, so that's a 10,000 milliamp. Is it milliamps? Is it other rated? And this is a 20,000 one. So quite a bit of extra charging, which is probably necessary. Double adapter, just so I don't get caught short. They're ready to be light, so I think miles will take it. I've got one pair of long nose pliers and a little side cutter, again very small ones, some cable ties, a small little rag just in case I need a rag of some sort. This is quite a bulky item again. Unfortunately I need to charge the batteries on the e-bike at some point, so that's what that is. For those not familiar with New Zealand, we've got one of the highest skin cancer rates in New Zealand, so sunblock, critical. Bug spray, it's about a third left of that thing, really good, super light. I bought a drone the other day, so I'm still trying to figure out how this works. It's 135 grams, so it's super light, real entry level DJI Neo. I just got the basic one. I think I should have gone next level up. I tried cycling with this, it's too slow. Anyway, maybe we'll get some drone footage. I bought a spare tire again. I don't know if I need this. I've got puncture repair stuff. Do I need a spare tire? I don't know. So I'll still have to decide whether I take that. And there's no problem, you can buy these things en route. The danger always is where there's not a bicycle shop and you need it, then you need it. Well, I have it. Jandals. Have to have some fun. I can't be walking around in those shoes the whole time. So when I look at all of that, and consider it's 30 days, it doesn't seem a lot. Let's see if we can fit it inside the bike. That's the challenge. It was 27 kilograms. Got 4 loading it up. Oh shit. 7. Okay, so that's 15 kilograms of gear, which may not be too bad considering 3 kilograms that alone is the extra battery, maybe 3.5 together with the cable and all that type of stuff. So 27 plus 15, so it makes a 42 kilogram bike as opposed to a normal TA bike at 27. So how much benefit do we really gain by having an e-bike when you've got all that extra weight? We'll find out. So this is the last training ride before the TA, Tuesday afternoon. TA starts on Saturday. Just had the bike service, so want to make sure that it all works, nothing falls off. Got a new bike chain on, etc., and try to figure out how to do this recording stuff. Hello my mummoos, hello ladies. They all got full stomachs. Doesn't seem to be much grass there. Hello my girls.